to another episode of Candid Moments. I'm so excited to introduce my guest today. This is a pretty special episode that's close to my heart. My next guest, Alicia Grace, a college student currently studying early childhood education at Cambrian College, has lived through more lifetimes than the average 21-year-old. A brain tumor survivor, chronic illness warrior, and disability advocate, she chooses to live her life to raise awareness and share her story. Her life motto is "Blind Girl in a Sighted World." She has learned to live and navigate the world with sight loss. She may have lost her vision at a young age, but she will never lose her vision to create change in this world. She is young, vibrant, and she has a very inspirational story. And I'm so glad and grateful that I'm able to give her a platform to share her story. Please help me welcome Alicia Grace to the microphone. Hi, Alicia.
Hi.
This is so much fun. Thank you for sitting down with me.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
This is so much fun, eh? And then there's zero pressure. It's just a conversation between us. And
Definitely.
It's recorded, but it's fun. So you told me that one of your goals is to become a motivational speaker. Where was that pivotal moment? Or do we want to start with the story first?
We can talk about how it all started being a motivational speaker. At a young age, it's kind of where my life has led me. It's kind of interesting. So I was actually a theater kid, always in theater and always, playing different characters and telling characters stories and telling so many, a wide variety of stories and portraying that. And then as I got into high school, I was a drama major and, doing the plays and theater. And then I slowly started realizing that the story I wanted to really play was myself and really tell my own story. So that's kind of how it instead of playing characters, I started, really delving into the public speaking and really telling my own story, and that becoming so impactful.
That's amazing. So you're still so young. When did you make that decision?
So the public speaking actually started, I would say probably officially 2 years ago was when I actually started doing that. Once after high school, I got into college and started really, advocating for myself and advocating for other stuff. But I found that to really get to people, you have to really be vulnerable and really share your story. And so that's how the public speaking started, because I guess, I started sharing my story to one person, and then it kind of just other people got curious. So, yeah.
That's amazing. Have you considered, I know that things have changed a lot with the pandemic, but have you ever considered joining Toastmasters?
I actually did that. I was in Toastmasters through my college.
Okay.
And we had a special group through that, but then, I guess the pandemic hit, so we kind of had to stop. And then, yeah, just different things came about. So.
Yeah. What's interesting is what you and I have in common. Not only do we have an inspirational short story that we'd like to share with others, but we share a coach.
Yeah.
And that's how we got connected. Roger Caesar from Southern Ontario was our coach. And he, I haven't been doing speaking engagements anymore as a result of the pandemic, but I've created a podcast where I can connect with people. So I haven't been very connected with Roger lately, but I'm glad that he reached out to me with your name. And it's a nice connection to make in the community.
It definitely was. Yeah. I'm kind of the opposite. I found more speaking engagements throughout the pandemic. I've been presenting over Zoom and really sharing that way.
Okay.
And also on my social media, I've been, sharing my story and reaching out and networking that way too.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you haven't had the opportunity yet to be on a big stage?
I've done a few. not like big events, but I've done a few. I was, lots with my Cambrian. I've done a few panels at my college, and then within the community through other organizations.
Okay, which ones
Yeah.
what are the key organizations that have asked you to speak for them?
So I've done the Brain Tumor Foundation of Canada, and then
Okay.
I've also done CNIB. Those are
Oh,
the
that's
two big
great.
ones I'm involved in. Yeah.
Yeah. So are you wearing contact lenses right now?
No, I don't wear, I use glasses most of the time, but with my vision loss, they don't really benefit me
The
as much.
glasses?
Both, yeah. I don't use, glasses don't really help for schoolwork, but I don't really like, the vision loss is so significant, it doesn't help.
No. Do you walk with a seeing eye cane?
Yeah, I use a white cane, yes.
A white cane? Sorry. Yeah, that's what
No,
it's
it's
called.
okay.
I had actually during my recovery, I'm a brain injury survivor, and I suffered vision loss. That's why I wear glasses. So I don't see from this one.
Yeah.
And the peripheral has been affected as well. Where was I going with that? Vision loss. See, that happens too, because I sometimes lose my train of thought. And I can't apologize for that, because that's how my brain kind of functions on a regular basis. So that means, like, do you have a portion of vision, like, because you
So
can do your schoolwork?
yeah, so for me, well, I use a lot of assistive technology and stuff to help me get through schoolwork. I don't read textbooks much. I listen to my textbooks.
Aren't those great programs?
They are. So, but my vision loss is kind of similar to you. So I am fully blind in my left eye, and then I have no depth perception or peripheral vision in my right eye. So it's
Okay.
kind of like it's like I have tunnel vision is basically.
So which one is the one that you have the vision? Like, limited, like there's at least some vision in
Yeah,
your
there's some
right?
vision in my right eye. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the one I can't see from, but I have limited vision in my left, but still, like, I can't drive. And
Yeah.
that was really challenging and difficult to accept in my life, because it's like, that's a big thing, right? Your independence.
Yeah, I think I kind of, because like I've been like I've had low vision my whole life, but I think it really hit me when I turned, was it 16 that people get their licenses?
Yeah, 16.
So everyone was getting their licenses, and for me, I was gaining my independence by learning how to use the white cane and really learning like how to take the city bus. That was my independence.
I remember back then too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that was, it was a crazy period, like in life, where everyone was like, like, got my driver's license, got a new car, and I
You're
had a
like,
new
I
white
have a bus
cane.
pass.
I got a new white cane and a new bus pass. Yeah, it was
Yeah, and
crazy.
it definitely gives you a different perspective on life. Like, you and I, we're grateful for the independence that we do have,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah, and for me, like, I was very, I would say stubborn wanting to use my white cane, but like, my teacher who taught me how to use my white cane, my O&M instructor, she really helped me, and it was like that was a big thing in like gaining my confidence with using a mobility device, because it makes me, at the time, like now, why blend in when you can stand out, kind of thing.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's so empowering.
and now, like, I use my white cane. It's like the typical one is like, white and then red. I have a pink one, and I rock it, and I love it so much.
That's amazing. So you
Yeah.
are just fabulous in and out, and you woke up like this. Oh, I love it. See, if I had a cane, it would also be pink, because it's a cute color and it's fabulous and makes you feel good.
Yeah, I have a few, like I have a blue one, and I have like a few different colors, but the pink is my favorite one that I
Oh,
always
that's
use.
so cute. So you can actually like coordinate your cane with your outfit.
Yeah, definitely.
I've never thought about that. How cute is that? Technology certainly has changed. We don't have to limit ourselves so much. It's nice to have options.
It is.
So how have like, I know you grew up with these challenges. Tell me about your challenges.
So what, like, how it, like, what do you mean by challenge? Like, just in
Like
general, like what I,
being the different student and
okay.
having to kind of quote unquote struggle with life. Like how do you overcome that? People want to know, because people that don't have our deficiencies, I guess you can say,
Yeah.
they don't know what that looks like or what that feels like.
So for me, growing up with, having a brain tumor, having these chronic illnesses and being low vision, like it's a triple whammy right there. But I never really seen it as I guess, like, I've had my moments where I've like it's been hard, but I've never really seen it as a struggle. I've kind of
Okay.
always like, these are the cards that I was dealt. It could be worse. I could be, dead, I guess you could
Yep.
say. So like, I've faced that like a few times where it's like, might as well just live, like, no day but today. You might as well just take one day at a time and just enjoy it to the fullest. Um, that's what I that's how I look at life. And every day that I'm here is another day to, you know, impact lives, change, like, share my story and really help others. And that's not to say like I don't struggle. Like, what you see now is me at my best, but
Okay.
I do have like my off days where it's like, I might have migraines, I might, you know be exhausted from like just whatever, right?
Yeah.
Especially college right now, the Zoom fatigue is
Yeah.
absolutely crazy. And
Oh, yeah, that
yeah,
is difficult. I
but
I know what you mean. Like I feel I'm okay right now,
yeah,
but I'm struggling. But I'm trying not to think about it. It's in the back. Like it's deep.
yeah,
It's here. It's and nobody said, you know what, Candace, you are going to live with chronic pain and you're going to have to push through it. And there are going to be days where you feel like your head is in a vice. And so on those days, like I have podcasts to record. Like this isn't going to get in my way. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
you just try not to think about the struggle part and take your life on and be a champion.
Yeah, and I like with college, like I have a lot of eye fatigue because like there's so much reading, there's so much, like assignments and exams. And I'm in an accelerated course, so I have to start placement soon. And so my courses are like 16 weeks of information cramped into 8 weeks, which
Ouch. Okay.
yeah. So that, like, I have eye fatigue, but it's like I can't, like, as bad as it sounds, like I can't worry about the eye fatigue. I got to get the work done.
Exactly. So
um
you're forced to push through that.
yeah. But it's just like these struggles, I never really, like, they do get me down once in a while, but it's not like it's never really been, I've learned to just cope with it and just take it day by day.
That is incredible. And giving up, I don't like that phrase, but
No,
that's not an option for you because
no.
you have your mind set on your goals and nothing is going to interfere with that, correct?
Yeah, it's kind of like my drama teacher would always like quote Shakespeare and say like, to be or not to be. I didn't like that, so I changed it to be or to be, because I will be.
I like it. Oh,
Yeah,
that's so great. So you live with you lead with positivity and light and
definitely.
you sprinkle that everywhere you go. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
That's what
I
Roger had told me, that you were such a young, vibrant girl that had such a great message and you are so positive and people need to hear that.
thank you. Yeah. I think, as like, yes, there's negativity in the world, like, not to say like I don't have that, but I
Right.
choose to just live life positive because like, especially now, like I have an compromised immune system, so I'm like in the same room, same house 24/7. So it's like, that negative energy can't be here for me to thrive. I need to,
Exactly. So yeah, that negative energy is not welcome here.
yeah,
And you are thriving. That's great. So are all of your courses online?
yeah, they're all online. And placement is actually, they made it so like I work with like I'm in ECE, which is early
Mhm.
childhood education, and I'm actually going to be working with kids over Zoom, which is kind of fun. And
Oh,
they
that's going to be interesting
Yeah,
What you don't know about me is that I took that course.
nice.
So we have a little more in common than we originally thought. When I started in that, I did my placement over at the Montessori school, and that's an
Okay.
accelerated program. Like the 3-year-olds know how to read and do math. Like
Yeah.
it's amazing. But for me, I chose that like I had this story and I wanted to like do something else. So I didn't finish that program. I transferred over to general arts and science. I graduated with a college diploma. uh, and then I went off to Toastmasters and I just made a speaking career and a name for myself. And it's lots of fun.
Nice. Yeah, and like
Yeah.
I have similar things. Like ECE has always been a passion of mine, and I see myself, public speaking, but also in an early childhood education ways too. Like I would love to have those two combined and really, work with. I'm going to be working with kids with vision loss, which has been like an absolute dream of mine. So doing a placement like this is
Okay.
amazing. So being able to, work in a space where I can help little ones become advocates for themselves, where the public speaking started for me, is, it's going to be life changing.
Oh, that sounds so life-changing and so positive. See, I had no idea what this episode was going to hold as far as questions. That's why Candid Moments is so much fun, because we get to learn so much. That is a great opportunity for you. You have the opportunity to touch, move, and inspire the little minds and the lives of the youth in our community. That's
Yeah,
incredible. I think you are going to be such a great advocate, because those little ones, they need somebody to teach them how to advocate for themselves, and somebody compassionate who's actually walked the walk. Uh,
definitely. And I think too, I've always, I've had so many educators and teachers in my life that have made a difference. But for me, what really hit home was having not only learned experience, but lived experience together. And really, like, that was the most impactful for me. So
That
that's
is
what I kind of
incredible.
want to do.
That is incredible. Oh, and then so how you feel as far as the mentorship you received in your life, you will be that mentor in other people's lives.
Yeah.
That is so great. So you said that would be through the CNIB over Zoom for your placement.
Yeah. Through CNIB.
Is that difficult for those people to see the screen on the computer?
Like through Zoom.
Yeah.
Oh, so we actually, some of the kids use this, like for Zoom, like some of, like, we mostly have our cameras off because we don't really use them. Some
Oh, it's
kids
just
turn
for
their cameras on.
audio.
Yeah, it's for audio. Like we have, like sometimes, like for the ones who do have some vision, like they will have their cameras on, but most of the time it's pretty much off because we don't really need it.
Okay. Can you see our screen right now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
use it. Yeah, I use it.
Okay. That's good. For me, sometimes my guests are sitting like away from their desk. I can't do that. I can't see the screen. So there. Now I can see the screen. That and it will be interesting to see, because you're so young, that I think that your path may change, but you'll still have that same mission, but you'll never know how many other people and what other capacity you'll be working with within the community.
It's crazy to think, like 2 years ago, I never thought I would be where I am today, kind of thing. Like I never
Yeah.
envisioned, like, going out of high school, like it really, like in high school, like I had a teacher say, like, you should pursue like public speaking of some sort. Like she actually told me I should, share my story and all that. And at the time, I did not want anything to do with that. But after, you know, discovering my love of public speaking, it's like now I'm here, and like all the experiences that have brought me here and the different paths, like it's everything happens for a reason, and it's
Oh, I love that saying
crazy.
so much. I believe
Yeah.
in that wholeheartedly. Everything does truly happen for a reason. And maybe we're not supposed to know the reason,
Yeah.
I believe in that too. Maybe it's none of our business, but maybe we find out at the end of our life. But yeah, everything does happen for a reason. And I think that that's part of our mission
Definitely.
to kind of find out what our purpose is. I think we are living our purpose, whether we have a choice in there or not to follow that. And I think you're taking on that challenge, right?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I truly know what my purpose is yet, but you know, I think maybe purposes change over time. Right now, I do a lot of advocacy and speaking for youth with vision loss. And that right now is like my whole heart, and I
That
love it
is
so much.
amazing. So,
But it could change, you know. Wherever it leads, I know it's gonna be good.
yes. Have you received any feedback yet as far as, like, I'm talking about how rewarding it feels working with these youth?
Definitely. I've had different like feedback from like my public speaking that I do, and like, you know, people saying like how impactful it was, and you know, to keep it up. um and
Okay.
I've inspired other youth to actually go into ECE as well, which has been awesome. And just like, especially a big thing that I do is really have like encourage those youth with vision loss and like with any disability to pursue post-secondary. That is like, education to me is so incredibly important. And you know, despite like, I was told at a young age I wouldn't graduate high school, let alone go to college.
Ouch.
um
And look at the impact you're having now.
yeah, so you know, similar kids might be in that path, and I'm like, you can do it. It's not like, you know, I was told this and you can for sure do it. It's not impossible. You predict your own future. You don't let anyone else predict your future.
Oh, and those children, those young students, they do need to hear that, especially from someone who has survived such detrimental loss. It's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Like, I've had some mentors over the years. I got to see Terry Evanston. Are you familiar with his story? Canadian football legend, car accident, acquired a brain injury. So he has anterograde amnesia, if I'm not mistaken. I have
Okay.
retrograde. So anterograde, he lost memory of the past, but from day to day, he really has to work on that. So he's had to relearn his whole story. They did a
Wow.
movie about him, and has to learn his story every day to be able to go on stage and touch, move, and inspire his audience. And he's incredible. The Brain Injury Survivor, Brain Injury Association of Sudbury had him as a keynote speaker in town here. And I was so blown away. I was like, that man has done so much, and he's able to inspire us. So that inspired me to pursue a speaking career.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's so many people, and it's interesting to see down like 10 years down the road that I'm helping other people share their stories. That wasn't really part of my plan, but I'm
Yeah.
accepting it and I'm embracing it, and I do love that.
And that's incredible that you're doing this. And I think this podcast is awesome. I love this.
Thank
And
you. I hope
yeah,
it's well received from people, because I've had people who've survived tragedy and want to share their story. I've also had very successful people in this community who are just chasing their dreams. And it's just so nice. Everybody's story is different. And that's what makes us so connected, because we all have a story.
yeah. I always think it's like, why be what was the saying? It's like, why be like, you have to be yourself because everyone else is taken, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
you have to stand out, right?
Could you
Yeah.
imagine if we were all the same? We would have nothing to talk about. We would kind of, that reminds me of twins, because my sisters are twins, and I think they've always, and they're identical, but those two are so different that they're the same. I think they kind of fight to prove that they have their own identity,
Yeah.
because we always, which one's which? Well, we know, like the family knows which one's which, but they want their own identity. They want to be known for, X, Y, and Z.
It makes sense. It's kind of like for me, it's very different, but people like the regular people will say like, oh, blind people are all the same, but that's really not true. Like my experiences that I share, I don't speak for all blind people. I speak for myself, and these are my experiences. Everyone else is so different, and it's, not two people are alike.
It's true. And that's good that you can speak from your experience.
Yeah.
I can't speak for all brain injury survivors. I speak from my story as well.
Yeah.
That's true. Every brain is different. Injured or not, we are born with like the same brain
shape.
parts, like our full brain. We all have a full brain, but I guess all the neurons fire differently, and we all have a different personality as well, and we all experience life differently.
Yeah.
It is interesting, but I think that's what brings us closer together as people. Differences are meant to be celebrated.
Yeah, it really is.
This is so much fun. I'm excited to see what kind of impact you have on the community in the future.
Thank you. And I'm excited to see this podcast flourish and see where it goes. I'm very excited.
Thank you. Well, it will be posted later on during the year, but I'll let you know when it's posted. I don't know how to edit, but it's not just so much I don't want to edit. This is just a candid conversation. It's not a professionally edited thing. I've made so many mistakes. I continue to make mistakes, but I own that. It's just me. So like it or leave it, or love it and embrace it.
Nice. Yeah,
Well, we all have to have our own stamp of approval and sprinkle a little bit of us on everything that we're part of.
definitely. I always it's like leaving your mark and leaving your style.
Yeah, and we're
Yeah.
all leaving a legacy.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful to see how all of our stories are different. Alicia, thank you so much for your time today. This certainly was special.
Thank you so much for having me and giving me this platform to share my story.
Absolutely. More people are going to hear about you. I have a little community here who will probably follow me. There's lots of followers on social media, which is so great because we can be so connected so quickly.
Yeah.
And I will help spread your name everywhere and sprinkle as much positivity on it as possible.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So thank you for sharing this candid moment with me today, Alicia.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.